ConnecticutSA.com.
This is 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star, your home for Monday Night Football. KTFM Floresville, San Antonio's Sports Center.
NFL Network's Ian Rappaport is reporting there is, quote, no firm word on Cowboys head coach Mike McCarthy's future with the team. McCarthy is expected to meet with Cowboys owner Jerry Jones in the coming days after he finishes exit interviews with the players. In college football news, the Texas Longhorns had a big day in the portal as they landed Alabama transfer linebacker Kendrick Blackshire and Oregon State wide receiver Silas Bolden.
This is Extra Innings with Pleasure.
Truth is, I am Iron Man.
Rock and roll! The Texans win it!
You've been called the Da Vinci of our time. What do you say to that?
Absolutely ridiculous. I don't think.
That goal is history. A walk-off home run.
And it's going to be legendary.
James Pledger wraps your day with insight, opinion, plenty of sarcasm, and of course, your calls. He'll even pour a beer out the door for his favorite story of the day. This is Extra Innings with Pledger. Now, here's Pledge.
What's up, Dad? Can't stop me now.
Welcome into Extra Innings with Pledger right here on San Antonio Sports Star, 94.1 FM, sasportstar.com. I am James Pledger. Thanks for joining me this evening as we get you home on your way from work or whatever you may be doing. However you're listening, whether it's 94.1 FM, sasportstar.com, or, of course, if you are listening via our YouTube channel at SA Sports Star, go ahead and like, subscribe, comment along with the show as we get you ready for everything going on in the world, including what's the best way out for the Dallas Cowboys from the treadmill that they seem to be on in terms of how seasons start, finish, anything that may be going on with Dallas. How do they break the cycle or the monotony that they seemingly have been stuck in for a few years? And, of course, the San Antonio Spurs getting ready to hit up the Boston Celtics. And some massive news coming out from Tom Petrini. If you missed that interview, it'll be up on our audio vault powered by AA Best Bail Bonds. But we start off with, the team in Texas still in the playoffs. That would be the Houston Texans, as this game, while it feels 1 seed versus a wild card that snuck and rookie quarterback, rookie head coach, teams not supposed to be here. Teams met earlier in the season. 25-9 was the final score of that game. Everything in the script says that the Texans don't and shouldn't have a chance in this game, but everything in my gut tells me that not only do the Texans have a chance, I actually like them in this game when they take on the Baltimore Ravens, and there's a multitude of reasons for it. And first and foremost, it is the leaders on this team. One of those being CJ Stroud, that rookie quarterback who was selected number 2 overall, because there is a narrative that this team is playing with house money and they've got nothing to lose. And CJ Stroud does not buy into that narrative.
That's not my thought process or our team's. We're just doing our job. We don't really pay attention to what people say. It's not up to them on what goes on the field. So it's really just up to us to go out there and do our jobs. And we believe in ourselves, and we trust in ourselves to win games and hopefully win this game. We have complete confidence in ourselves. So we're not really worried about what everybody else got to say.
And it's not just them that have confidence. It is the team that has confidence, and it's had confidence. And this dates back all the way to the draft when they took CJ Stroud at number 2 overall. And they were so confident in their ability and their future that they gave up this year's first round pick and some other draft capital to move back up to number 3 with the Arizona Cardinals and take Will Anderson Jr. And that was kind of the thought going in, was they were looking at Will Anderson Jr. and taking him at number 2 and then figuring out quarterback later. They did it the other way, and it's because they believed in the 2 players that they were going to take. Not only that, they believed in them so much, they didn't give up Cleveland's first rounder this year. They gave up their own first rounder this year, which was projected to be a top 3 pick in and of its own. If you looked at any draft pundits coming out, the Texans were going to have one of the bottom 5 worst records in the NFL. That did not scare the Texans away from making that trade to move up to get Will Anderson. In a sense, the Cleveland Browns pick is now 23. That is the pick that the Texans still own. The Cowboys pick 24. The Texans pick, which they gave to the Cardinals, still yet to be determined because they are still playing, and that pick is still up for grabs and can fall anywhere from 26 to 32 at this point in time. The Texans believed in themselves. They believed in themselves from the beginning. And on top of that, CJ Stroud has not lost to a team twice in a season. Whether it's in the division or, like in the playoffs, facing the Cleveland Browns for a second time, beat them. As a matter of fact, every team, well, not every team, but the teams that have beaten the Baltimore Ravens this year, the Houston Texans have beat those teams as well. This team is playing differently going down the stretch, and one of the instances that the Texans can take advantage of, I believe, is on the defensive side of the ball, more so than the offense, because Baltimore's defense is very, very good. And while that defense is very, very good, I do believe this is going to be a close, low-scoring game because of it. CJ has seen this defense before. He can now process it, take it to the field, and hopefully have some answers the second time seeing it. It's not like CJ had a bad game the first time they played. CJ had, for his first start in the NFL, a very good game. He threw for, I want to say, 250 yards, no interceptions, about 50% completion rating because they couldn't run the ball early in the season. It was something like 22 of 42 or something like that. But here's where the Texans can take advantage. In his last 6 games, has been sacked 13 times. He was sacked 3 times against Baltimore, or against Cincinnati, 3 times against, twice against the Chargers, twice against the Rams, 3 times against Jacksonville, twice against San Francisco, and once against Miami in the New Year's Eve game. 13 times in the last 6 games. The Houston Texans defensive ends and the stable of rushers that they have been very, very good at getting to the quarterback. Whether it is Will Anderson, Jonathan Grenard, who is getting healthier, you got Malik Collins in the middle, you throw in Barnett, who they acquired from the Eagles after he was waived. They send a bunch of pass rushers. Jerry Hughes. They've got a rotation, and the rotation is usually fresh. That can cause problems for Lamar Jackson if this trend holds up with the offensive line struggling down the stretch. And the Houston Texans did a very good job bottling up Lamar Jackson for the most part in that first game, not letting him break a big one on them the way he is apt to with his legs. And this defense has only gotten better when it comes to stopping the run. The Texans have a puncher's chance in this game, and more so than that, I believe that the Texans can and will win this game because all of that pressure is on Baltimore. The same things that we say about Dak Prescott are said about Lamar Jackson on the AFC side of things. He's a guy who was 1-3 in the postseason. He is a guy who last time he faced an AFC South team when they were the 1 seed and Lamar Jackson and won an MVP. Sound familiar? They lost by 16 to the Tennessee Titans. D'Amico's going to have a game plan ready. It's going to be about limiting those big plays and then finding a way to make something happen against Baltimore's defense offensively. And CJ knows he has his work cut out for him as he has to face that Ravens defense.
I mean, yeah, the Ravens are a great defense. I mean, definitely one of the top defenses in the league. Everything runs through really their linebackers and Kyle Hamilton. I mean, they're great players. Their corners do a good job. It means sticking in coverage. Their D line gets a good pass rush. It rushes a unit. And really, that rang true week 1, and it rings true now. So we got to just be on our A game, execute at a high level, focus on the little details, and just really when the moment gets big, that's when you execute and try to do your job and try to make it as easy as possible. So in those other divisional games, playing the team twice, it's really some things that you can pick up on, but also it's been a whole really a new season since we played those guys. So you really got to just play it true on what you see out there on the field and just try to execute at a high level.
Now, one of the things that they are going to have at a disadvantage is weather conditions. Not used to playing in as cold a weather as we're looking for in Baltimore this weekend. Although no rain, no snow, just cold, and it's not even bitter cold like what Miami was dealing with. We're talking, mid to high 20s. And luckily, as D'Amico said, they got to practice in it this week.
No, it was good to experience just what the weather would be like, very similar to how the weather would be in Baltimore. Again, as I said yesterday, it's what an opportunity we have, before us. And I don't think our guys will be worried about weather, and that won't be an issue, right? It's one of those things where, of course, you embrace the suck and you move on, right? And just go attack it with everything you have. Don't worry about the weather. Or worry about executing and playing good football.
You embrace the suck, as D'Amico said. Look, the weather sucks for everybody. Them too. You embrace the suck, you move on, and you power through it. And I love that. Like I said, the wild card is Lamar Jackson because he can do so many things with his legs, extending plays to throw, extending them to run. He is a very, very difficult cover for the defensive linemen and especially those linebackers. And D'Amico Ryans knows Lamar causes issues on that front seven.
Yeah, you can throw as many things at Lamar as you want to, but he finds a way to make plays. That's what makes him a special player. No matter what type of looks he's gotten on tape, right? He's made a ton of teams pay because of just his playmaking ability, right? He's seen a lot, made a lot of plays, so it's going to be a challenge no matter what we present or what we throw at him.
Saturday, 3:15. It's a typical Texans time slot, and I'm okay with that because they're used to playing in it. When it comes to the playoffs, fans know where to look for it. And the best part of it all, this time, this team feels different. I feel more comfortable going into a playoff game as an underdog than I ever did in the J.J. Watt era against the Belichick Patriots when they would meet in the divisional round and knock us out, or even 24-0 against the Kansas City Chiefs. This team feels different. And I think there'll be a different result when they meet on the field on Saturday. This is Extra Innings with Pledger. I am James Pledger. What say you? 656 ESPN, 210-656-3776. Or you can always comment along on our YouTube channel at SA Sports Star. Like, subscribe, follow along. Like Frank Mateo, who says CJ is him. And he told me that the Texans were going further than the Cowboys this year. He did. Your commander is showing, but you are absolutely right. And this team has gotten hot at the right time at the end of the season. And CJ is a main reason for that because he is playing hot. In that first game, Fred Villarreal saying CJ 28 of 44 for 242, no interceptions. So that's close. About 50%. 250. Jacob Erica says got hot at the right time. And that's what you want. When you talk about teams that make Super Bowl runs, they usually get hot at the right time. Now, we tend to forget because the Kansas City Chiefs have been good for so long. But while they were winning games, a lot of the Chiefs teams that made or won a Super Bowl, they struggled early in the season. They won the games, but they were struggling. Defensively, they were a sieve. And then around October, around Halloween, November, defense starts rounding into form, yada, yada, yada. All of a sudden, Chiefs are making a run to the Super Bowl. That's how you see seasons play out. You want to be playing your best ball late in the season. The Texans happen to be playing their best ball late in the season. Coming up next, though, did J.J. Watt help to save the Houston Texans? That's right. J.J. Watt, was he the mastermind behind everything that transpired for the city of Houston while he was in Arizona? That plus, of course, Mike McCarthy. What do we do? How do we get from under the cycle that the Cowboys seem to be stuck in? Well, I've got my thoughts. What about you? 210-656-ESPN, 656-3776. More on Extra Innings with Pledge coming up next right here on San Antonio Sports Star, 94.1 FM and SASportsStar.com.
The NFL playoffs are here.
Read all about it, baby. One last drive.
Wild card, divisional, conference championship, and Super Bowl 58 in Las Vegas. Hear it on your exclusive home for the NFL playoffs and the Super Bowl. 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
My name is John Clay Wolf, and I'm the CEO of GiveMeTheVin.com, and I love to buy cars. And I love the system we built to buy your car. It is quick. It is fast. If you've got your license plate number, you can just go to GiveMeTheVin.com, stick it in there. 45 seconds, you're in and out. You'll have a number. GiveMeTheVin.com, America's best car buyer.
Sell us your car. GiveMeTheVin.com. So easy you can do it in your underwear.
Pizza's here.
Oh, great. I'd love some, but I'm worried about my stomach issues.
If you're worried about having diarrhea, gas, bloating, stomach pain, or loose, oily stools, it may not just be stomach issues. It could be a condition called exocrine pancreatic insufficiency, or EPI. With EPI, the pancreas doesn't release enough enzymes to break down food, but EPI is manageable. Use the symptom checker on identifyepi.com and talk to your doctor. That's identifyepi.com. Sponsored by AbbVie.
For the ones who get it done, the most important part is the one you need now. And the best partner is the one who can deliver. That's why millions of maintenance and repair pros trust Grainger. Because we have professional-grade supplies for every industry, even hard-to-find products. And we have same-day pickup and next-day delivery on most orders. But most importantly, we have an unwavering commitment to help keep you up and running. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
What does it feel like to file with TaxSlayer and get your guaranteed maximum refund? It feels like the last level of a video game, facing off against the final boss who stands between you and your refund.
All your refund has belonged to me.
Using the power of TaxSlayer like a secret power-up he doesn't see coming.
Only the most tax confident can defeat me.
Throwing your laptop at his video game face and watching him crumble into a giant pile of shiny coin tax refunds.
Oh, not fair. You use TaxSlayer.
Start for free and get your guaranteed maximum refund. TaxSlayer. File fearlessly.
If you're a man and you live in San Antonio or the surrounding areas, you need to pay close attention to what I'm about to say. Are you having issues rising to the occasion? Do you constantly worry about whether or not you can perform? Have you completely stopped having adult time? Is it something you just don't talk about? Guys, we have a solution. Mojo, the 100% guaranteed male enhancement pill that's fast, effective, and was designed to reignite passion, performance, and confidence in the bedroom. Yeah. Be ready at a moment's notice with the Mojo Male Enhancement Pill from Pure Line Nutrition. And for those of you who have used Mojo, check out Mojo Enduramax. Touchdown! A new formula that improves the potency and effectiveness of Mojo. Get fast results, last longer, and be the man she'll never forget. Mojo and Mojo Enduramax, 100% natural male enhancement formulas only available at Pure Line Nutrition. Call now, 210-494-2210. That's 210-494-2210. Or visit us online at thepureline.com.
San Antonio Card House, the premier card house. It's a new year, it's a new month, but it's the same old thing when you're talking about SA Card House. They're giving money away. $125K giveaway running all the way through the end of the month, January 31st. 527 chances to win. You know our slogan, you got to play to get the pay. 17 hot seats drawn per day. Yes, per day, every hour on the hour from 9 a.m. to 1 a.m. And this month they pulled out the wheel. That's right, 20 spin the wheel to win. $500 all the way up to $2,000. And of course, it's SA Card House, so you got the multiplier. The multiplier bonus is 100 to 149 hours. You get 2 times the multiplier. Once you get up over 150, it's 3 times the multiplier. When you're playing that much, might get a little famished, might get a little hungry, might get a little thirsty. Bounce on over to Foster's Bar and Grill and order some food from one of those 3 fantastic chefs. Check it out yourself at sacardhouse.com. That's SA Card House, the premier card house in San Antonio.
My name is John. I could not lose the weight I needed to. The Institute for Functional Health Wellness program was the answer. It included a great deal of testing, supplements, and weekly face-to-face doctor visits. I finally had the accountability I needed. I am now 50 pounds lighter. I no longer have pain in my elbow, back, and hips. I have more energy and just feel and look so much better.
Call for your complimentary consultation, 210-468-1891. I'm Dr. Torres at the Institute for Functional Health.
Flight by Yingling is the next generation of light beer. For those who don't follow trends, but craft them. Flight by Yingling is 12 ounces of uncompromised refreshment from America's oldest brewery. With only 2.6 grams of carbs and 95 calories, this is premium refreshment 6 generations in the making. Don't just raise a glass, raise the bar. Flight by Yingling. Available wherever beer is sold. DG Yingling and Son Incorporated, Pottsville, Pennsylvania. Please enjoy responsibly.
San Antonio is Aggie country. This is Andrew Monaco, and you're listening to the home of the Aggies, 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Welcome back into Extra Innings with Pleasure right here on San Antonio Sports Star, 94.1 FM, sasportstar.com. I am James Pleasure. Thanks for riding with me this evening. The Houston Texans. They had quite the offseason. It all started with the addition of D'Amico Ryans. And it's very interesting to connect dots back to things because there was a time, and us Texans fans remember it very well, everything had fallen apart. Franchise quarterback wanted out. Franchise quarterback then turns out to be involved or accused involvement in some very, very salacious massage details during COVID. He is eventually traded. You end up getting quite the haul for it. First couple of picks you make with it, Kenyon Green, still don't know if he can play. Derek Stingley was MIA for most of last year with a hamstring injury and the first part of this year. So things were not off to the best start. You still had Jack Easterby in the building, and fan apathy had set in amongst the fans and to a point of not caring for a lot of it. They had gone through 2 one-and-done coaches with David Culley and Lovie Smith. And morale was at an all-time low. They had let J.J. Watt, they cut him so that he could try and sign with a contender. He ends up in Arizona. And last year, he announces his retirement, and his last game was against the San Francisco 49ers. Well, in that game, JJ's mic'd up. He meets D'Amico Ryans, who was the defensive coordinator at the time in San Francisco, and putting it out in the universe. Putting it out in the universe. JJ Watt knew Cap was the only one that could save the Houston Texans.
How are you?
Hey, congrats, baby. Congrats on a great career, man. All right, you're the best, baby. You're the best. Don't make Houston great again.
We'll do it.
Don't make Houston great again.
Yeah,
I love you, brother. I appreciate you.
man.
How are you?
That was the final regular season game of the year and the final of JJ's career. And all of a sudden, interviews happen. D'Amico turns down a bunch. He comes to Houston. Jack Easterby's out of the building. Caserio and Cal McNair settle on D'Amico Ryans, and everything changed. The culture changed. The city changed. And you saw the hype videos. You saw the people at NRG Stadium excited he was here. And D'Amico on that moment on the field with JJ Watt.
I did not remember him telling me that. But I mean, JJ, I think that game there was cool moment for me. I was able to be here with JJ in his first game, and then be on the sideline as a coach to see him play his last game. And man, he had a really good game versus I think he ended up with like 2 sacks. It just shows JJ is just an unbelievable player. And I'm thankful to call JJ a friend, right? Thankful to have played with him. Truly great player, Hall of Fame talent. To be able to play with a guy like that, man, I'm thankful for that moment to share with JJ. Haven't seen the video. Not sure what I said in the video, but hopefully everything worked out. Just it was good. All right.
Everything seemingly has worked out fantastically, Meek. Appreciate you and everything you've done to help bring energy to the city of Houston again at a time where football season became a very depressing time for a lot of fans. And this year it's a culture that he has instilled in this team that has them believing in themselves, playing in themselves, and they're seeing the results on the field. Culture being the operative word. And D'Amico Ryans has set a culture within that organization that is going to be passed down through the players. And I'm pretty sure between him and Nick Caserio, they looked for culture pillars. There's a reason that CJ Stroud and Will Anderson both were captains before the first game they ever played in the NFL. They drafted a lot of captains. They wanted people in that exuded leadership and a certain work ethic that they believed in. And they've found it in their 2 pillars that they're going to move forward with. And Derek Stingley was another guy that they truly believed in his work ethic and his quiet way that he goes about just working on the field. And these are Caserio, D'Amico, Texan type guys that they really enjoy working with. And another guy this year that was a captain at Penn State, Juice Scruggs, was supposed to play center, gets hurt, comes back, is kicked out to guard, playing next to Laramie Tunsil, and is not allowed a sack or a pressure against the vaunted Cleveland Browns defensive line in the last game. As a matter of fact, I think he's only allowed 2 pressures over the last 3 games. That's impressive, especially from a rookie who missed the first more than half of the season with a hamstring injury, and it's his first NFL action he's thrown into the fire in terms of a team that was in the hunt, and he helped to solidify the interior of that offensive line when it was going through a lot of trouble and a lot of injuries through the early and mid part of the season, him being one of them early in the season. But they made it a point to seek out certain guys to set a culture and an institution. And I think that's important, and that's one of the reasons that this team believes that it can be there. Talked a lot about culture. I'm not sure I know what the culture of the Dallas Cowboys is, because it comes from so many levels. You have the coach preaching one thing. You have ownership seemingly preaching a different thing, and not all the gears seem to be turning in the same direction. The culture of the Dallas Cowboys is in question. The future of the Dallas Cowboys is in question as we look at the potential future of Mike McCarthy and Dak Prescott. What say you? 656 ESPN 210-656-3776. I don't just want to hear I want to get rid of Dak because he sucks. I want to hear your path forward. I will lay mine out. But the path forward is the most important thing. What do you do? How do you get out from under a $60 million cap hit for a quarterback? How do you get from Mike McCarthy and 3 straight 12-win seasons and into the postseason? There are a couple of paths forwards for the Dallas Cowboys, I believe. And I want to know if y'all have any that are different or better. We'll talk about it next right here on Extra Innings with Pleasure on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
It's R&R in the morning.
Thursday on R&R in the morning, the Spurs took on the Celtics. Did they get a win? Is there a brand new streak? And how did Wemby do? We'll look back at all of it. And, of course, the playoffs are almost here. We'll look at all the key matchups and give you the numbers you need to watch close.
Nick Saban is out of the college football world, but it is costing everybody else millions and millions of dollars. We'll talk about it. Bring your coffee.
It's your wake-up call. R&R in the morning, 6 to 10 on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack. Sure, you can post your job to some job board, but then all you can do is hope the right person comes along, which is why you should try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. ZipRecruiter. Its powerful technology identifies people with the right experience and actively invites them to apply to your job. You get qualified candidates fast. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you what you're looking for. The needle in the haystack.
4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate through the site within the first day. ZipRecruiter, the smartest way to hire. And right now, you can try ZipRecruiter for free. That's right, free. Just go to this exclusive web address, ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free. ZipRecruiter.com/free.
If you have unfiled taxes or are in debt to the IRS, this is important news. The IRS just rolled out a new program to help struggling taxpayers more easily resolve their tax problems. It's called the Taxpayer Relief Initiative, and it opens up powerful new options for people looking to get back on the right track with the IRS. And no one knows this program like the professionals at Optima Tax Relief, America's most trusted tax resolution company. They've resolved over $1 billion in tax debt for their clients and have the expertise and experience to help you. One easy call to Optima can start the process, helping to put an end to your worries of wage garnishment, asset seizure, and other aggressive IRS actions. Make today the beginning of your fresh start with the IRS. Call the experts at Optima Tax Relief now for your free confidential consultation.
Call 800-896-8155. 800-896-8155. 800-896-8155.
Optima Tax Relief.
Some restrictions apply. For complete details, please visit OptimaTaxRelief.com.
Guys, did you know your testosterone affects everything in your system, including how you feel and perform every day? Right now, Revive Men's Health San Antonio will check your testosterone for free. Knowing your T levels is the first step in understanding if you have low T. Your testosterone level impacts your energy, libido, sleep, weight, hair loss, mood, and even ED. Maintaining an appropriate T level can change your whole life. Most men start to see changes in their hormone levels in their 30s. Experience and results matter. So what are you waiting for? Get your T levels checked today by local, experienced, and trusted men's health experts. They've helped thousands of men since 2011. They're so confident they can help you, they even guarantee it. Call Revive today and schedule your free testosterone test, free exam, and free consultation. Call Revive Men's Health at 210-615-7777. That's 210-615-7777. Or visit revivemenshealth.com.
If you get arrested, get out of jail fast by calling AA Best Bail Bonds, 210-225-2121. Text bail to 474747 or online at mybestbailbonds.com. You don't have to call attorneys or anybody else. Don't be forced into a PR bond. If the jail offers you one, make sure you understand the conditions before accepting it. AA Best Bail Bonds. Nobody beats their price. They have payment plans. Call 210-225-2121 or mybestbailbonds.com.
License number 149.
Jackson Hewitt has a plan to get your tax refund fast with a buck here, buck there. Here a buck, there a buck, everywhere a buck.
You don't have to wait weeks for your tax refund. Get money in Hewitt.
On this loan, there's a money today guarantee. E-I-E-I-Do.
Don't settle for chicken feed. Get fast bucks at Jackson Hewitt today. No fee refund advance loans by Republic Bank offered to eligible clients. Money today guarantee if approved for a loan on a prepaid card. Details at jacksonhewitt.com.
If you're looking to get a new car, you could really cut expenses by bundling your car and renter's insurance with Progressive. Sure, you love your old car, but you know it's not normal to give instructions on how to open the window. It should be self-explanatory, but it's not. And notice how when you're in other people's cars, you can feel cushion in the seats? That's pretty nice, right? No, it's just normal. So bundle your renter's and car insurance with Progressive and put the savings toward a new car. It's time. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company. Coverage provided and serviced by affiliates and third-party insurers. Not available in all states.
The Aggies play here. This is Andrew Monaco, and you're listening to 94.1 San Antonio's Sports Star.
Welcome back into Extra Innings with Pleasure. I am James Pledger right here on San Antonio Sports Star, 94.1 FM, sasportstar.com, and on YouTube at SA Sports Star. Like, subscribe. You can comment along with the show, like Rick's Barbecue Specialties. Let's go, Texans. I agree with you. Let's go, Texans. Let's get that win. Let's get into the team's first ever AFC title game. And from there, we'll just figure I'm not going to lie. I'd rather play Kansas City. I would much rather play Kansas City. And it's because I think Buffalo is the other hottest team on the AFC side of the bracket right now. As far as the Dallas Cowboys, I asked 210-656-ESPN, 656-3776, or in our YouTube feed at SA Sports Star. What's your fix for the Dallas Cowboys? What do you want to do to make sure that the Dallas Cowboys can move and break this cycle that they've been on for seemingly a decade now in terms of 8-8 with Jason Garrett or 12-5 now with Mike McCarthy and zero playoff success? Let's head to the phone line. Samuel called in. Samuel, what's your plan to get out from the cycle that the Cowboys seemingly are stuck in?
A lot of Cowboys fans are not going to want to hear this, but it's time to blow it up. We've been doing the same thing for 30 years. What we experienced Sunday is the reason I'm a Texans fan as well now. I needed something to actually be able to have. I needed to have some real hope. Not just hope that me and all the other Cowboys fans are, it's going to happen this year. Well, it ain't happened for 30 years. I'm 32. I've never seen a Super Bowl. So, and right now, as they so infamously said, notoriously said over the weekend, the Texans are looking like Texas team right now. Dak, I love him to death, but he hasn't gotten it done. McCarthy won one Super Bowl, was one of the greatest quarterbacks of all time. Could barely do anything. He really looked like he was a little lost a lot of times this year. Made a nice run in the middle of the season, but to lose that way when, really the odds were in your favor, undefeated at home, the team playing the way they were, but they're front runners, man. And you can't win in this league like that. This is not the NBA where you can get a big 20-point lead all the time and just run away with it. This game goes back and forth, and sometimes you got to be able to come back from down 10, 15 points. But the Cowboys have proven to us over the years that they don't make adjustments at halftime. They don't get better. They don't see what's going on. Michael Parsons can't stop the run. I don't care how other Cowboys fans feel, but he needs to go. We need to trade him, get some draft picks, go get a guy like TJ Watt that can play the run and rush the passer, because I don't care. If you can't stop the run, you're not going to get to rush the passer, and that's exactly what the Bills did to us, and that's exactly what got done to us on Sunday. We need to blow it up, build our run game, maybe bring Zeke back, get some guys that don't mind that want to rush the passer, but also want to stop the run. Like, you got to live that. This is football, man. This ain't basketball. I played football. I was never a D lineman, but all I want to do is get up in somebody's face and show them what my daddy showed me. Show them that my daddy's tougher than your daddy. And if they're not going to do that, bro, they make a lot of money, man. I make what I make. I work in healthcare, but these guys make a lot of money. And I don't want to bring their money up in a way to say, oh, man, they should be doing better. But, man, you guys make a lot of money to play a game that we all love so much. And why is it that this team, other teams have had their ups, have their downs, but this team, they just can't get it right? I'm not blaming this on Jerry Jones. Even Jerry Jones is at a loss of words, and that's never been Jerry. But right now, it's just time to start over. I've literally, Cowboys fans love ragging on the Texans, but the Texans are literally the newest team in the NFL and have won more playoff games in their existence than the Cowboys have since they won their last Super Bowl. I mean, it's ridiculous at this point. Cowboy fans need to stop living the lie and really grow up and say, force Jerry Jones to make some moves. Like, really do something. Like, really get this team right. Stop giving us this fake, oh, we're going to make it, oh, we're better this year, man, and really build something. Get us a real coach that's not afraid to make halftime adjustments, that's not afraid to stand up to Jerry Jones the way Bill Parcells did. Get some players in here. Let's go win a freaking Super Bowl. Heck, forget the Super Bowl. Let's get to an NFC championship game. How about that? It looks like the Texans have a real chance to do something the Cowboys haven't done in 30 years, and the Texans aren't even 30 years old. That's all I got, Pledge. I'm sorry, man. I didn't mean to go off like that, but I started feeling it a little bit.
Go off, because I will tell you this. Sometimes venting helps. The ability to vent and get it off your chest helps. And I will say this, because I heard this on the Blitz earlier, and it didn't sit right with me. They said Jerry Jones loves to make the splash move. That's not true. Jerry Jones likes to be associated with making a splash move. Like, there is mistakes, but they're not actually going to get Odell Beckham Jr. Like, they want to be in the conversation, so they're in the headlines, but they don't actually make the move. And that's part of the issue with the team. Is this team, in my opinion, is all flash with no substance. And like you called them, a front running team. I've called them a front running team. I didn't mean it disrespectfully. I meant that's who they are. In terms of the way that they needed to play. They needed to jump out to big leads. They needed to be able to unleash their defense. That's just the best way for them to play to maximize their potential on this line. But every time they got punched in the face by a team, whether it was Arizona or San Francisco or Buffalo, like, look at the Green Bay Packers game as our most recent example. When teams inserted their will on this team, they wilted. And part of the reason they wilted is because this is a team that, once Leighton Vander Esch went down, had 0 linebackers. They were playing with a bunch of safeties at linebacker, and that makes you extremely good in the passing game and the ability to run sideline to sideline. But if somebody wants to punch you in the face, those guys don't help in that instance.
Nope. Unless they're Brian Dawkins.
Exactly. You got to have that dog in you.
Yeah. You're knocking them on their back.
So what if we're blowing it up? What's the path forward? Are you eating the $60 million? Are you getting rid of McCarthy and Dak together at the same time and try and figure it out from there? Or what's the plan that's in place to build moving forward for the Dallas Cowboys if you're blowing it up?
Now I don't know the financials. I know there's a lot with Dak's contract, and it's probably more financially efficient for them to re-sign him, to restructure his deal.
It is.
But honestly, it's been 30 years since we've even sniffed a Super Bowl. Honestly, what would it really hurt to say, hey, you know what, we're going to eat that? Look at the Broncos are doing it.
The Broncos are doing it. And remember, the Eagles did it with Carson Wentz.
The Eagles did it with Carson. After he didn't really win a Super Bowl, but he kind of did.
He was the MVP that year before he got hurt.
Yeah. I hate to. I don't want to see Dak go. I don't want to see. It's weird to see Dak in another jersey. But I think we got to get rid of our two best players and get what we can. Get a draft overhaul. I don't know if we need to get rid of Will McClay, because Will McClay has made some great draft picks.
Mm-hmm.
But we need to revamp the coaching staff. We need to Jerry Stephen need to clean house. If they're not going to fire each other, they need to get rid of a lot of people and burn it to the like we do in the country, burn it to the ground and start over.
Yeah.
Micah, to me, I feel like Micah got more hits on his podcast than he got sacks this year. And yeah, he had 14 sacks, but how many did TJ Watt have, and how many games did TJ Watt miss? Like you said, man, I want a dog, man. I don't want a guy that's pretty and cute and doing his podcast on Wednesday, hanging out in his closet and talking about what other teams need to do. I don't give a ooh, Lord. I don't care what other teams are doing, what other teams are doing. I care about what my team is doing.
Mm-hmm.
And over the years, it has gotten a lot easier to watch, even though they went through what they went through with Deshaun Watson. It's gotten a lot easier to watch the Texans, because what do the Texans do? They shut the hell up and they go to work. They put their hard hat on and they come to work every day, even when they were bad. We didn't have guys doing podcasts and doing all this extra stuff. No, man, we play football. We play football. That's what we get paid to do. We don't get paid to be on podcasts. And don't get me wrong, I understand these guys want, they want to put their own narratives out there and things. And when you're just out there talking about other teams, and honestly, I don't think his podcast is that great. There are other guys that are a lot better, if you ask me. But dude, I want you watching film. This time, this 30 minutes, an hour that however long you're spending doing this podcast, you could be reviewing film. You could be working with, DeMarcus Ware, a Cowboys legend. You could be, doing certain things. I had Jimmy Johnson earlier, and I never got to see Jimmy Johnson coach the Cowboys.
I hate to break it to you, Samuel, but Adam Schefter,
snap.
1 minute.
Oh, snap.
Dallas will not be making a head coaching change, and the Cowboys, Mike McCarthy, will return for next season.
Oh.
I hate to break it to you, Samuel. I appreciate the phone call, though. It's been great talking with you. Take it easy, my brother. 656 ESPN 656-3776 if you want to be a part of the conversation. Vince, you called in. What's going on, my man?
Hey, listen, I called yesterday, saying we need Jim Harbaugh. And look, we lost on Sunday, and we lost again just now. We're keeping Mike McCarthy.
Yep.
Are you serious?
That's what Adam Schefter's telling us.
What is there left to evaluate? There's nothing left. Mike McCarthy clearly cannot get these guys to go up anymore. We hit the ceiling with this guy already. We lost. We lost again.
Look, the good news is there's not an extension. It is typically just they're bringing back Mike McCarthy for the 2024 season, which is his final season under his current contract, if I remember correctly. He and Dak, you can possibly see them both going into their final year together if the Cowboys have the stones to make them, work for their final, or if they want extensions, if they want to be Cowboys, if they have the stones to make them go into a final year and earn it, it's going to be on the Cowboys' job.
I'm done with inaccurate. I'm done with them. I'm serious. I'm going to trademark that thing. Inaccurate. I've been saying it at work, and people laugh about it, and they're like, man, you know what? He is inaccurate. I've been telling you guys this. We can't win with 4 at the quarterback. Yeah, the stats. Yeah, stats will win you fantasy games, but I'm not into fantasy football anymore. I want to win a Super Bowl. All right? He'll win you the stats in the regular season, but it's like, we are that meme, that's going around right now.
Yeah, the circle,
Cowboys
the
season,
cycle.
The Cowboys, they beat up on good teams. Oh, you're right here in this circle, and it's like there's no lie. There's no lie in it. We become a punchline, and I'm tired of it.
I appreciate it, Vince. Hold on a sec. We'll get to you the rest of your calls in just a few minutes. I got to take a quick break here on Extra Innings with Pleasure on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
If you can't sleep because of annoying knee pain, that's a problem. If you stop running because your feet always hurt, that's a problem. If your elbow, shoulder, and neck pain make it impossible for you to do your job, that is a problem, and it's time to finally do something about it. I'm Dr. Jason Garrett from Arasti. At Arasti, we fix pain fast. No medications, no injections. Arasti treatment is completely natural and non-invasive. Plus, we accept most insurance plans. There's a location near you. Visit Arasti.com. That's AIRROSTI.com. Arasti, we fix pain fast.
This year, every plate is serving up their most sizzling deal yet. $1 steak every single week. Not only can you dig into 10 ounces of delicious steak for just $1, but you can enjoy every plate's other tasty meals for just $1.49 each. Whether you're resolving to save money or just want to enjoy every bite in 2024, America's Best Value Meal Kit has you covered. Get started with $1 steak every week and meals for $1.49 each with code MSJ49 at everyplate.com. Everyplate.com.
If you love them enough to turn off your music and pretend like their music is your music,
this is Mommy's jam.
then surely you'll check NHTSA.gov/the right seat to make sure they're in the right car seat.
Let's play it again.
Check today at NHTSA.gov/the right seat. Brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration and the Ad Council.
Buyers Barricades is proud to provide traffic control, rental, and sales for work zones and events in the San Antonio area and beyond. Buyers Barricades, the Texas authority in barricade rental. Learn more online at buyersbarricades.com. That's buyersbarricades.com.
At Grainger, we're for the ones who specialize in saving the day and for the ones who've mastered the art of keeping business moving. We offer industrial-grade supplies for every industry, with same-day pickup and next-day delivery on most orders, all backed by real people ready to help. So you can get the right answers and products right when you need them. Call, clickgrainger.com, or just stop by.
Game day at Jim's house, and the spread is impressive.
Mike's already done some damage with the hot wings, and now he's dropping back and going deep for another slice of pizza.
I sure hope he brought the Pepto.
Mike knows that Pepto-Bismol provides fast 5-symptom relief from unexpected stomach upsets. He's no rookie.
The way he's throwing back those nachos, he's the GOAT.
Be ready for game day with Pepto-Bismol.
When you have nausea, heartburn, indigestion, upset stomach, diarrhea.
Use as directed. Keep out of reach of children.
San Antonio Card House, the premier card house. It's a new year, it's a new month, but it's the same old thing when you're talking about SA Card House. They're giving money away. $125K giveaway running all the way through the end of the month, January 31st. 527 chances to win. You know our slogan, you got to play to get the pay. 17 hot seats drawn per day. Yes, per day, every hour on the hour from 9 a.m. to 1 a.m. And this month they pulled out the wheel. That's right, 20 spin the wheel to win. $500 all the way up to $2,000. And of course, it's SA Card House, so you got the multiplier. The multiplier bonus is 100 to 149 hours. You get 2 times the multiplier. Once you get up over 150, it's 3 times the multiplier. When you're playing that much, might get a little famished, might get a little hungry, might get a little thirsty. Bounce on over to Foster's Bar and Grill and order some food from one of those 3 fantastic chefs. Check it out yourself at sacardhouse.com. That's SA Card House, the premier card house in San Antonio.
Eczema flaring up again? We have good news. Exoderm. If you or someone you love suffers from eczema or dermatitis, get Exoderm, the common sense answer for eczema. This stuff really does work. Exoderm contains the #1 doctor-recommended ingredient in a clean hypoallergenic cream with no harsh additives. Take back control of your eczema with affordable, fast-acting Exoderm Flare Control Cream. Exoderm. It's in the first aid aisle of your local Walmart, H-E-B, and other fine stores.
This is the home of the Aggies, and this is Andrew Monaco. You're locked on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Welcome back into Extra Innings with Pleasure right here on San Antonio Sports Star, 94.1 FM, SASportsStar.com. I appreciate all y'all for coming through today. Breaking news before we got off the show, Mike McCarthy not going anywhere. He will be back for the 2024 season, his 5th with the Dallas Cowboys. You want to vent about it, you want to talk about it, 656-ESPN, 656-3776. Adolfo, welcome into Extra Innings with Pleasure, my friend.
Well, you just killed my vibe, man.
I'm sorry.
Can you?
I didn't mean to. I promise.
No, that's cool, man. I mean, but honestly, I mean, it's just, it just feels like Jason Garrett 2.0, man.
Well, I'll tell you this about Jason Garrett, Adolfo. Jerry let him play out the final year of his deal and then walk. And with both Mike McCarthy and Dak Prescott going into their final year of their deals, does Jerry Jones have the stones to make them both play it out and earn it, or be able to walk away from both and hit the hard reset if things don't work out next year?
My only problem with that, right, to give him that year of redemption, I guess you could say, if they get it, right?
Mm-hmm.
But my problem right now is you have Harbaugh out there ready to move to the NFL, and why not take advantage of that? We missed out on a few coaches while Jason Garrett was a coach, and we had opportunities to get coaches that were out there, and we didn't. And of course, being the armchair quarterback that I am, and being that 2020 vision backwards, we could have. I think that one or two coaches would have worked out. I think Peyton, at the time when we had the chance to get him, he would have worked out, and there were other coaches available that we could have just bought out. I understand Prescott. We don't have a choice. We have to just because we can't go into next year with that big contract. We have to extend them. But as far as coaches are concerned, I mean, Jerry's got enough money to not have to worry about buying out that contract.
I appreciate it, Adolfo. Look, more on this tomorrow. Mike McCarthy back as the Cowboys head coach. Was this mean moving forward? We'll discuss it all tomorrow on Extra Innings with Pleasure here on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Now, during Staples Print Big Sale, get $20 off your print purchase of $100 or more, $50 off your print purchase of $200 or more, and $100 off your print purchase of $300 or more. So, the more you save. To demonstrate, print at Staples, you save. But if you print at Staples, you save. See how that works? Staples Print Big Sale. Print more, save more. Up to $100. Ends 2/10. Visit staples.com/print for details.
Do you hear that? Asthma triggers are everywhere. From dust mites, pet dander, and pollen, to smog and smoke. An asthma attack can strike anywhere, anytime. Be prepared with quick-acting Primatene Mist. Clinically proven to open airways quickly. It's the #1 FDA-approved asthma inhaler available over the counter. Primatene Mist. Breathe easy again. Use as directed.
Sponsored by Armstrong Pharmaceuticals.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack, but not with ZipRecruiter. Its powerful technology actively finds and invites qualified candidates to apply to your job. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you the needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. Try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
Get deals on what you need during MVP's bonus days at Lowe's. Right now, save $20 on select 5-gallon ceiling paint or primer by HGTV Home by Sherwin-Williams. Plus, get 15% off and earn $3